Marc Fogel was living his dream. An American teacher, he had always been drawn to Russia's rich culture and history. He found himself captivated by its people and its beauty. He decided to share his passion for knowledge with Russian students. For years he taught in Moscow. He embraced his life abroad. Marc suffered from chronic pain. He found relief through medical marijuana, legal in the United States with a prescription. He carried a small amount with him as he traveled, believing it to be permissible. This seemingly small decision would have devastating consequences. In August 2021, Marc's life took a horrifying turn. At a Moscow airport, Russian authorities detained him. They found the medical marijuana in his luggage. Accused of drug smuggling, he was immediately arrested. His pleas for understanding, for recognition of his medical needs, fell on deaf ears. Marc Fogel, the dedicated teacher, the lover of Russian culture, became another American citizen ensnared in the country's justice system. His story is a stark reminder of the fragility of freedom, the abruptness with which life can change, and the long, dark shadow cast by geopolitical tensions. Accused of drug smuggling, Marc faced a bleak and uncertain future. The Russian legal system is notoriously unforgiving, especially towards foreigners. His arrest sent shockwaves through his family and friends. How could this be happening? Marc's family back home was devastated. His elderly mother, Malphine, clung to the hope of seeing her son again. His sister Anne became a fierce advocate for his release. They reached out to anyone who would listen, desperate for help. The U.S. government classified Marc's detention as wrongful. They asserted that the charges against him were politically motivated. Tensions between the United States and Russia were at a boiling point, fueled by the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Marc's case became entangled in this geopolitical web. Months turned into years. Marc languished in a Russian prison, his health deteriorating. Hope seemed to dwindle with each passing day. Marc's life inside the Russian prison was a far cry from his days teaching and embracing Russian culture. He endured harsh conditions, his surroundings stark and unforgiving. The days were long, punctuated by monotony and despair. Communication with his family was limited, a lifeline to the outside world that only served as a painful reminder of all he had lost. He clung to memories of his life before, his students, his family, his freedom, but those memories were slowly fading, replaced by the grim reality of his situation. His health, already fragile, deteriorated further. He spent over 100 days in the prison hospital, subjected to a battery of medical procedures he didn't understand. Over 400 injections, he'd later recalled, each one a testament to his failing health and the brutal conditions he endured. Marc Fogel was a pawn in a larger geopolitical game, his fate hanging in the balance as the United States and Russia locked horns on the world stage. He was a forgotten American, his plight largely unknown to the public. As Marc endured the harsh realities of Russian imprisonment, a glimmer of hope emerged from an unexpected source. Former President Donald Trump, known for his unconventional approach to foreign policy, took an interest in Marc's case. Trump, never one to shy away from a challenge, saw an opportunity to make a bold move on the world stage. He understood the power of a grand gesture, a display of strength that could resonate both domestically and internationally. He also felt a personal connection to Marc's plight. In a twist of fate, Trump had met Marc's family just weeks before his arrest. He had looked into the eyes of Marc's elderly mother, had promised to do everything in his power to bring her son home. Fueled by a sense of personal obligation and a desire to project American strength, Trump set in motion a series of back-channel negotiations with the Kremlin. The wheels of diplomacy, often moving at a glacial pace, suddenly accelerated. Trump, working through intermediaries and leveraging his unique brand of deal-making, managed to secure a breakthrough. The details of the deal remained shrouded in secrecy, but the outcome was undeniable. Marc Fogel would be coming home. After more than 2 years of wrongful imprisonment, he was finally free. A wave of relief, joy, and disbelief washed over Marc's family as they received the news. Their prayers had been answered. Their long nightmare was finally coming to an end. A private jet, dispatched by Trump himself, waited on the tarmac in Moscow, ready to whisk Marc away from the country that had held him captive for far too long. The steps of the White House provided the backdrop for an emotional reunion as Marc Fogel, draped in an American flag, stepped back onto American soil, greeted by the cheers of his family and the triumphant smiles of his rescuers. Tears flowed freely as Marc embraced his family, the years of separation melting away in a moment of pure, unadulterated joy. His mother, frail but resolute, beamed with pride and relief, her son back in her arms at last. The crowd erupted in applause as Trump, flanked by his team, emerged from the White House to welcome Marc home. It was a made-for-television moment, a potent symbol of American strength and compassion. Marc, his voice thick with emotion, expressed his gratitude to Trump and his team, acknowledging their tireless efforts to secure his release. He spoke of the harrowing conditions he endured, the loneliness, the despair, but also the unwavering hope that had sustained him. Trump, never one to shy away from the spotlight, addressed the gathered crowd, his voice a mix of solemnity and triumph. He spoke of Marc's ordeal, the injustice of his detention, the unwavering resolve of the United States to stand up for its citizens. He highlighted the importance of the moment, not just for Marc and his family, but for the United States as a whole. It was a victory for American diplomacy, a testament to the nation's unwavering commitment to bringing its people home. Trump also revealed a personal motivation for his involvement in Marc's case. He recalled his meeting with Marc's family, his promise to bring their son home. "I made a promise to this wonderful family," Trump declared, "and I always keep my promises." He characterized the deal with Russia as fair and reasonable, a testament to his negotiation skills. He also hinted at the broader implications of the deal, suggesting that it could pave the way for improved relations between the two superpowers. Marc Fogel's release sent ripples through the international community. Some saw it as a sign of thawing relations between the United States and Russia, a glimmer of hope in the midst of heightened tensions. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine had pushed relations between the two countries to their lowest point in decades. Marc's release, while a positive development, did little to alleviate the underlying tensions. Some experts cautioned against reading too much into the release, arguing that it was a one-off event, driven more by Trump's desire for a political victory than a genuine shift in policy. Others, however, saw it as a potential turning point, a sign that both sides were open to dialogue and cooperation even in the midst of a proxy war. Only time would tell what the lasting impact of Marc's release would be. While Marc Fogel's release was a cause for celebration, it was also a stark reminder that other Americans remained unjustly detained abroad. Their families continued to wait, to hope, to fight for their loved ones' return. The fight for their freedom continued, fueled by the tireless efforts of families, diplomats, and activists who refused to let their loved ones be forgotten. Marc Fogel's story served as both an inspiration and a call to action. It was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope could prevail. It was a testament to the enduring power of family, the unwavering commitment of those who fight for justice, and the importance of never giving up on those who are unjustly imprisoned. What are your thoughts on Marc Fogel's release and the efforts to free other Americans detained abroad? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more news and analysis.